everyone. If you have ever felt stuck figuring out internships, overwhelmed by the resume advice you get, or unsure how to stand out, this video is for you. My name is Sachin.
Wait. हम खुद की इंट्रोड्यूस करना तो भूल ही गए. वी और फायर इन द बेली. तो तुमने तो सुना ही होगा. किसी चीज़ को अगर पूरे दिल से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात उसे तुमसे मिलाने की कोशिश में लग जाती है. हमें उस कायनात की एक छोटी सी कोशिश समझ लेना.
My name is Sachin Pasrika, and over the last 2 decades, I have had the privilege of mentoring students, early career professionals, and even career switchers. From helping someone land their first internship to guiding professionals throughout their career journey to even getting their first paid project, I have seen one truth coming out very strongly. And that is, they're not the smartest people. They're the ones with clarity, consistency, and the ability to communicate their value. Some of my mentees have gotten into the top notch companies across the globe, be it the Deloittes or the Accentures of the world, to the Indian startup ecosystem of Flipkarts or the Zeptos of the world. Well, one thing is very sure. The most important lesson that you can learn from this is you don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start and be open to iterating along the way.
Chosen this year as one of the impact mentors by the Fire in the Belly team. So welcome to this amazing podcast series. My name is Yogesh Choradia. I am a career mentor. I am a management consultant. I am an entrepreneur who runs multiple businesses. And most importantly, I am passionate about nurturing young talent. In my career as a career mentor, I have trained and mentored over 30,000 unique individuals. These people fall in 4 broad categories. Number 1, students. Number 2, B-schoolers. Number 3, corporate professionals. And number 4, startups and startup founders. So these are the people that I've been mentoring for the last 15 years. And I specialize particularly in helping people ace and crack internships and job interviews and that entire process. Share the highlights of a few mentees that really make me proud for what I do. Some of my mentees are Forbes 30 under 30 A. B. Some of my mentees work with some of the best organizations, Fortune 100 organizations in the world, including MBBs, including Big Fours, and including several other Fortune companies, both India and global.
My name is Rahul, and I have been in this hiring and recruiting and onboarding industry from last 7 years, and I have worked with companies like Swiggy, Zomato, Dunzo, Byju's, and all many other. While working in Swiggy, I used to get a lot of questions. I used to get, I used to, listen to a lot of things from recruiters as well as applicants and students, while doing interviews and all. I took around 5,000 interviews, and the kind of questions that I would be covering today is a collective questions from my past experience as well as from nowadays as I'm working in Experto and helping students. So these are the kind of 17 questions that I would be covering. So this is something that can help you to stand out and ease any kind of internship in your entire career.
Hello everyone, you are listening to Stuti Goyal, IPM student from IIM Rohtak from 2025 batch. So in my first year of BBA, I did a lot of internships. Even throughout my journey, I did a lot of internships, a lot of taste competitions, live projects, converted good SIPs, and finally today in 2025 I'm standing as a graduate from IIM Rohtak. So today I have around 33,000 plus followers. I create content on a regular basis. Now what brought me here is my consistency. Since day one of my college, I've been creating content. I've been very much active on LinkedIn, and I believe that is the only reason, that is the only platform that has given me a very good exposure. Next, after my graduation, I converted an internship in Deloitte, which is a Big Four company. I was into financial advisory, forensics department. Now, when I stepped into the corporate world, I was a recent graduate. It was very tough. It was very new to me, very new experiences, but it was a very good and a very learning experience. Then I started my MBA in 2023, and in 2024 I cracked internship again in a Big Four company, Ernst & Young, EY. Now this one was into business consulting, internal audit. It was quite different, but it again gave me a lot of exposure and a lot of learning opportunity. I finally entered into the consulting world. So basically, I'm also mentoring a lot of students and professionals on Topmate. Now, initially, I used to charge some money because of my rigid schedule and timing, but recently I've given a lot of around 50 plus free sessions to a lot of students and professionals who are struggling into the same industry in the same domain to crack Big Four internship.
And it's a classic chicken and egg problem that a lot of companies play around with. They don't hire you because you don't have experience, and you can't be hired because you're a fresher, and so on and so forth. It's a chicken and egg
Let me
problem.
start with the most important question. How do you even find the right opportunities? Most students go a traditional route, college placements, internshala, or wait for some of their friends to announce an internship for them. Well, the best kind of internships often occur in the quiet market, the ones that aren't advertised or where you stand out because you reached out the
Make
first.
sure that you do be a part of a college placement initiative, placement drive, internship drive, but you also try to apply to companies, startups, MNCs, and so on and so forth outside your college.
So there's a four-step method that you can use. Number one, identify 10 to 15 companies that you admire the most. Number two, go to their LinkedIn page and go to their career section. Number three, set up a job alert. So whenever there is a new job that comes out, you get alerted. And number four, most importantly, reach out to someone from the team you want to work in with a thoughtful message. Don't say a general hi or hello. Rather, hi, I have been following your work or I have been following this company for a long time. And especially the recent project, whatever the project you might come across, has attracted my attention. I'm a student with skills in XYZ, whatever your skills are, and I'm looking for internship opportunities where I can learn by contributing. Happy to share my resume or portfolio if you're open. But that's a very, very important way and very strategic way for someone with an open-ended conversation. And trust me, this has worked well with a lot of students.
There are only two primary ways of accessing internships. A is LinkedIn. You can access various internship opportunities on LinkedIn, on the company's official page, or opportunities shared by those companies' hiring managers or hiring HRs. These people keep sharing internship opportunities that are not shared even on their careers page on their primary website. Number way to access internship opportunities is to connect with your own seniors from your own college who are working in some of those companies where you want to do an internship, right? Therefore, please reach out to them, send them a cold email, send them a very friendly email, talk to them about your past experiences, your skills, and so on and so forth, and tell them that you're very keen on accessing internship opportunities in a given organization. And I'm sure 9 out of 10 times you will get an affirmative response from your seniors. Even if that doesn't land you an internship, it will at least tell you what are the possibilities of you getting into that organization or any other similar organization. Today, the job market is so tight, so difficult, so challenging that getting a job is difficult, getting an internship is even further difficult. I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm trying to give you a very, very practical outlook of it. But let us not be scared of the challenges. Let us make our profile, our candidature, our skill set, our experience so relevant and so interesting that of the limited opportunities that are available, we are eligible for it. Let us really try.
For a single job role, there are around 100, 150 applications are already there, even in 1 hour or 2 hour duration. So I would suggest you, rather than going just from easy apply, clicking on easy apply button, I would suggest you to get the email ID, customize your cold email and try to deliver, try to add value. How you can add value, add some projects and CV, have a good looking email that you can send to the recruiters and directly reach out to them. This is the best kind of strategy that you can do. So what you can write on your cold email. So basically, if you really want to get a reply, So I would suggest you guys to write a very short, concise, to the point email, rather than writing that I have born in this area, I have born in this city, I have been keen to do this, I'm interested to do this, I am. No one wants to hear about your self or about your story. Even I have reached out to many founders, even Zomato's founder, Zip Electric's founder, Bharat Pay's founder. I have been recently talking to Akash Anand, who is Bellavitis founder, and Unicorn.ai's founder. So just reach out to them and just tell them how you can add value and how you can be beneficial for them, and how you can why you want to reach out to them. That's it. Make it very easy for them. So irrespective of whether if you are writing a CV or an email or a DM, whatever you are doing right now, the only one thing that I would like you guys to focus on, which is try to tell people how you can add value, right? How you can make their work simpler, how can you make their life easier, whatever the kind of things that you can do to help them. Just write 3 things, whatever you do right now, whatever kind of skills that you have, and the third thing, how you can add value to them and how they can reach out to you. That's it. While using LinkedIn, you can DM, or if you have the email ID, or if you want to get the email ID of the particular person and want to cold DM someone, there is a tool called Contact Out. You can use Contact Out to reach out to anyone. You just need to do one thing. You just need to install the extension of Contact Out. Once you do that, you just need to open anyone's profile, and you just need to click on the extension Contact Out, and you'll be getting all the email addresses that they are using, all the phone numbers that they are using, and any other social media profile if they are having any. So by doing this, you'll be getting all the details, and now you can also reach out to them via email and WhatsApp. And whenever you are doing this, always remember one thing, which is no one has time these days. It's very important to understand that if you are sending someone whatever you are sending, email or DM, if you are sending a message to someone, always remember one thing, to make it very concise, clear and on the point. Don't share CV or anything like that. Just tell them, if this is something you are looking for, if this is something that you think valuable, then you can tell me. I'll give you some more detail about myself, even some projects and my CV, so that you can have a look. That's it. Be the kind of person and have the kind of authority. Don't ask for anything. Try to give. Don't.
So if you're also looking forward to apply in internships in Big Four like Deloitte and EY, or even different companies, then I believe finding a relevant opening is the first step towards the application. If you have experience in auditing, for example in auditing, then apply for the openings of auditing. Don't go for different departments or different roles that you don't have an experience with, or about which you don't have any pointer in your CV. Make your CV very attractive and very relevant to the departments and the roles and the openings that are there. First, go to the website, go to their LinkedIn page, research about the departments in which students usually do internship, what roles are they offering, what is their deliverables, what is their JD, the job description. So you'll have an understanding about the roles, the openings, the deliverables, and accordingly you can apply exactly in that role. When you're applying, make sure that those keywords are mentioned in your CV to have higher chances of CV shortlist. After that, you basically have an interview rounds. To prepare for interviews, you first need to have thorough research about the company, about the department and the role. After that, you also need to learn basics of finance, basics about the department and the role that you have applied for. Talk to people on LinkedIn who are already an employee working over there. What is their job role? How does their day look like? What work exactly they do? What are the clients they are working on? Or even talk to different interns who have interned there already in the department. That will help you use certain keywords that you can speak about in the interview, that will make you look like you have well researched and you have already you have those skills within you for the role that you are applying. Secondly, if you don't have a very good finance background, I believe a very strong finance background is something that they are not looking for. They are looking for the willingness to learn and what you have to offer to the company, what different you have. So I believe if you don't have a very strong background, you can add certain basic certifications and courses. You can have case competitions or certain finance keywords in your CV to have your CV shortlist. Next is the interview, that is completely in your hand. You can drive the interview in whatever way you can. So the selection process and the application round was completely different from what the round of or the process of EY was like. EY was converted on campus. Now for Deloitte, they were more basically a CV shortlist. So you must be having a very good CV with mention of courses or certifications or maybe some internships in finance. So basically the role that you are applying in, there should be some keywords or something, some experience or some knowledge, some course related to that job role, that internship role into your CV. So that is the basic criteria of getting a shortlist of your CV. Now after the CV shortlist, you usually get a call or usually get a mail from the HR or from the recruitment department, and you get your interview scheduled. You usually have 2 to 3 rounds, but I believe in internship there are usually 1 to 2 round of interview. Now in the interview, you are usually mostly asked about the basic questions that are related to the internship job role. Now since it's an internship, they don't, and you are a fresher, you are a student, they don't really demand or require a very thorough, very deep understanding of the work of the department of the role, but you should be clear of your basics. Now the role that you're applying in, do thorough research about that role. Open their company's page, check out what is there, what are their reports like, what is the work of the department, who are their clients, what are their deliverables, what is the job role that they're basically involved in. So have a thorough research about the company, about the department, and about the role, the 3 things. Now when you are clear with your role, study about the basics. Since into finance and into consulting, you cannot bluff, you cannot talk randomly about the things that are happening around you. You have to be very much clear with your basics. Talk about the questions are very much objective. They might also have an Excel round where they want you to share your screen, and they want to have an understanding whether you know the basic functions of Excel. There might be oral questions related to that. There might be very specific questions about ratio analysis, financial modeling, valuation concepts. So I think that is the basics of finance that you should be very thorough with. They don't demand a very hi-fi knowledge or very in-depth knowledge, but be clear with your basics. There might be some courses and certifications that they might demand, that they might look for. Might be CA, if not qualified, maybe CA Inter, or maybe CFA level 1 cleared, or there are some courses from Wall Street Prep or NSE modules that they might look for. The application process for EY was different. EY was converted on campus, so basically we have a CV shortlist round. Now since I already had the experience of one Big Four Deloitte in my CV was shortlisted for EY. The process was, there was first a group discussion round in which you have different panels. In your panels there are 10 to 20 students, and the manager, the recruitment person, gives you a topic to speak on, and you get your turn, or you just lead to talk, to speak up your point. Now the strategy for cracking a group discussion is always try to speak first, always try to open the discussion. So that gives you a leverage, that gives you a good pointer to add. Next, always be objective. Just don't randomly throw out things on any topic. Talk about numbers, talk about analysis, read news, the latest news, use facts and use numbers in your answer, in your point. So after clearing the group discussion round, you usually have 1 or 2 rounds of interview. For me, it was just 1 round of interview in which I was asked questions about my past internship, past experience. They checked my knowledge of finance. There were basic questions of finance, and they were more looking about the interest or the capability of a person to learn. They are not just diving into what you know already, but how much are you willing to learn, how much are you willing to offer back to the organization. That is what they're basically looking for. Next, if a person does not have very good finance background or very in-depth finance knowledge, then I believe you can start with basics. You can have few certifications and courses in your CV. You can do some basic life projects, the one we have with different startups, different companies, different organizations like inside IIM, PwC Digital Academy, or even the clubs, college clubs and committees float out some uh, companies to do life projects with. You can also be enrolled in your finance club in your college. You can do some case competitions, finance case competition, that will give you a good knowledge as well as something to add in your CV. You can also make equity research reports on LinkedIn. You can post them, upload them, and that is also a very good strategy to get noticed by the recruiters.
Look, referrals are 10x more powerful than any other applying application method, right? So getting a good referral is very important. Let's suppose if you're reaching out to someone, you need to understand one thing, whether this guy will be able to give me referrals and all, right? You need to provide value, you need to provide, showcase your skills and whatever the kind of capabilities that you have in order to get a referral. It is very important. Referrals are something that can make your internship or job hunting game 10x better, right? And your chances of getting selected will be also 10x increased. Okay, so try to get referral, but try to understand what kind of people can refer you and how you can tell them that you will be the kind of people that can be referred. Okay.
Many students come across and talk about what are the resume mistakes we should avoid. Well, there have been many resume mistakes that I've come across, and students still do them despite being alerted about them. Well, there are a couple of them I would strongly talk about, and that is, don't use generic language like seeking a challenging role. You are expected to take challenges. So don't mention these kind of things. Using very dense paragraphs. Nobody reads them. Trust me, you get only 6 seconds of your recruiter's eyeballs. Then, third, most importantly, talk about results and not responsibilities. In fact, you can use a method which I very strongly recommend. Use a CAR method, which is challenge, action, and result. Let me give you an example. Redesigned onboarding screens for an edtech app, reducing drop off by 18% over 2 weeks. Now, there's just one line is more than enough for 5 bullet points about collaborated with teams. And also, most importantly, please tailor your resume for each role you are applying for. If you are applying for a research role, don't mention your Photoshop skills at the top of it. In fact, you should be talking about your skills that are relevant to a specific job or at the top of your resume. Either your cold emails, resumes, or cover letters. Well, research is everything. Believe me. So here's a tip. Find out what the company is working on. 2, who is on the team. 3, what values they talk about. And then reflect that in your message. Instead of, I'm interested in interning at your company, say that. I loved your recent campaign on XYZ, and I would love to learn under your team while contributing to a similar project. Tailoring like this shows intent, and intent always stands
One
out.
of the biggest things that I find missing in a lot of resumes that I go through is people don't have enough depth about what they want vis-a-vis what they have done. So therefore, try to make sure that there is an alignment on your resume basis what you want to do in your future. If you want to build a career, let us say, in investment banking or in consulting, obviously you would have had done certain projects, certain assignments, certain internships, certain courses in the same field, so that you can show the recruiter or the hiring manager how you have built certain skills in the past to be valuable for the organization that you're trying to be applying to for your internship. Correct. Also, it is very important to show the diversity in terms of your profile. How can you show diversity? A, through leadership roles in your college and outside your college in various forums, societies, associations. B, through extracurricular activities. C, through very strong hobbies and passions. Not just saying that I watch movies, or I listen to songs, or I watch certain sports, or so on and so forth. But identify things that you are really passionate about and work on them, and do it in the level that you can show it on your CV, right? That's number two. Number three, also ensure that you focus on showing or highlighting your key projects that you're doing in your college, because they will really matter to your recruiter when they want to understand how you have added value in terms of your knowledge, your skill set, and your mindset about a given domain. So these are things that you can do to make your resume really
CV में
strong.
there are very few pointers जिसको बहुत ज़्यादा ध्यान रखना ज़रूरी है. So having relevant keywords is the most important factor. जिस भी job role में you are applying, make sure कि you read the JD very well. Whatever key points are there in the GD, try to incorporate them into your CV. So for example, if you're applying for a finance role, for a finance internship, but your CV is completely marketing based, so what you can do is कि जो भी JD है उस finance internship का, उस JD को उठाओ, pick up some pointers from that some keywords from the JD, and try to incorporate them into a marketing CV. Now maybe you have worked for a company जिसमें आपने completely marketing का काम किया हुआ है, but maybe you can change one or two liner and add some maybe mold the line in such a way that you can incorporate those keywords. Second thing what you can do is, since I've advised you to do a lot of courses and a lot of case competitions, you can just change the section of that case competition and the section of that courses to some, and add some finance, replace the marketing cases or marketing courses with some finance courses, so that will somewhat balance out your CV with marketing plus finance. So instead of just submitting a marketing CV to a finance internship, you can maybe change your CV, mold your CV to look more finance oriented, so that will also get you higher chances of CV shortlist. Similar thing you can do for different domains and different internships that you're applying.
To tailor our resume based on each and every requirement. Can we do that? It is mandatory. Can we skip, or can we have a common this resume? So sorry guys, no, you just need to tailor your resume based on each and every opportunities, so that you can rank good in ATS score, so that you can get some relevancy, or you can get the kind of time that you're looking from a recruiter.
Always remember that one CV, just one page, won't help you convert to all the domains, or won't help you clear out all your domains. If you are very much clear कि बस इसी domain में काम करना है, इसी internship को crack करना है, and इसी company में जाना है, then one page CV or just one domain oriented CV might help you out. But if you are looking for different domains, different job roles, and if you're not very much rigid कि बस इसी में जाना है, and you are willing to explore different roles, then keep updating your CV, or maybe make 3 or 4 drafts as per different domains of your CV. जिस भी domain की opening दिख रही है, submit that CV in that domain. That will help you out. One more thing, try to minimize the white space. Try to bold out few pointers. Don't use a lot of colors. Don't use your picture. Always mention your email ID or a contact number for the HR to reach out to you. These are some ways to make your CV professional, very concise and very specific. Use numbers and facts. Make your CV objective. Use power words in the beginning of every line. Each line should end in a single line. Each sentence should end in a single line. So these are some basic pointers that you can cover, that you should cover in your CV. That will help you definitely to stand out in the crowd, to always have an edge above the other candidates.
If you're having a good summary section, then they will be getting an idea about yourself in just 5 to 6 seconds, not more than that, and it will increase your chances of getting higher. Right? So always have numbers in your experience section. Whatever you have done, let's suppose you have worked in a company as social media manager. So how you can do that? You, rather than writing that I have worked here for X number of months as a social media manager, try writing instead, which is important, which is something that can provide credibility. How you can write it is basically very simple. One thing that you can write here is I have worked here in this company, in this X company, as social media manager, and I have grown their social media account from 100 followers to 10,000 followers in my 6 months of working. By doing this, you will be getting an idea to the recruiter that how much capability you have, how capable you are of doing anything, and it shows the result that you have or the kind of impact that you have made for the company. So this is one of the very, very important questions that I get from students, so even from the freshers. Let's suppose if you guys don't have any experience, right? And people think if if we don't have any kind of experience, what we should be writing on our resume, how we should present ourselves and our skills and all those sort of things in the resume so that we can get hired, right? So one thing I would suggest you guys to work on the projects, no matter what, irrespective of your field, no matter what, whatever you are doing right now, just start working on projects. Let's suppose if you are a finance guy, or if you are a marketing girl or want to something do in marketing or finance, so and if you don't have any experience, right, so how you can showcase your expertise, right? This is one of the most important thing. Whenever recruiter looks at someone's resume, they want to understand how they can add value and how they have already performed in previous experience or work, right? So one thing that you can do is work on a project. Let's suppose if you're a marketing girl and want to get into marketing, so then you can work on some imaginary brands as well as some real life brands and try to recreate their marketing campaigns and try to make it better. Apart from that, what you can do is you can write a marketing plan or a marketing campaign for a for an imaginary brand that's just coming out. Let's suppose a water bottle brand or something, a soap kind of brand, some imaginary brand you can write marketing campaigns about, so that recruiters or anyone looking at your resume will be getting an idea how you can work or how the kind of expertise, the kind of skills that you have. Same goes with finance internships. Let's suppose if you're looking for an internship in equity ventures or in taxation or something like that, then you can work on various projects like in equity or in taxation or in financial modeling or anything like that, in which what you can do is you can already you can pick some existing brands or something like that and try to make it better. Otherwise, you can take some imaginary brands and try to create financial model around them, and now you'll be having a very good project that can help you to showcase your skills as well as the kind of value that you can provide to the organization.
I have seen some stellar profiles in my career over the years where people have really in-depth, alignment in terms of their resume and a given JD, a job description. But the problem is when it comes to an interview, people go underprepared or unprepared. The biggest mistake that people do is they don't rehearse what they're going to talk about in the interview. If you are not clear about the roadmap, about what you're going to talk in an interview, you are completely going there unprepared, just waiting for the interviewer to ask you a random question and then answering that question randomly. Instead, when you go prepared for an interview with what you want to talk about, what are the areas that you want to highlight, no matter what questions the interviewer throws, you always have the opportunity with you to divert the interview or the interviewer's attention to areas that you really want to talk about. That's number one. Number two, most people who don't do well in interviews are people who have not done any homework, any background work. And what do I mean by that? When I say homework or background work, when you go for an interview, you need to spend at least a couple of hours on the given organizations, on the given industries, on the given businesses, on the given products, websites, to see what is happening there, who is buying them, who are the stakeholders, how is the industry growing, what are people talking about the given company or so. Correct? Understand the entire business and the industry as much as you can. Don't think that I'm a fresher. Don't think that, this is my first interview. No. Interviewers today expect you to be fully prepared, and therefore I would really urge you, when you are applying for a job or an internship, please make sure that you spend enough time on an organization's website, on their LinkedIn page, on their Instagram page, on their YouTube page, whatever is available on the internet today. And as far as you will do that, you will know far more about not just the company, but about that business, about that industry, and about how well does your personality, your profile align with the given opportunity that you are assessing. It is very important to do that. Believe me, if you do this one step, you are 99% guaranteed to crack any interview that you go to.
So during an interview, I believe confidence is one thing that the recruiter is foremost looking for in a candidate. When we talk about the questions, we have technical questions and HR questions in the interview. For technical questions, it's very much specific or very much to the point. You have to look forward to the JD कि what are the requirements of the job. JD में जो concept, जो deliverables हैं, just prepare well according to them. You might have questions relating to ratio analysis, very basic, basics of accounting of 11th and 12th, and whatever you have studied during your graduation years. You also might have questions related to financial modeling, basic DCF modeling, or maybe valuation concepts, maybe related to a stock market. There might be generic questions related to the economy. What is the recent financial news is a very common topic you might face. We have questions like what is the current repo rate I just talked about, or what is the current inflation rate of inflation in the economy. There might be guesstimates as well. You should prepare with the guesstimates, case study rounds as well.
A lot of interviews today are based on the case study approach. Understand, in a case study approach interview, the right answer is not the intent of the interviewer. The approach towards going to the right answer or the answer itself is the intent. Correct? For example, I see a lot of questions. I'll give you a random example. People say there is a 15-kilometer road, and can you tell us how many street lights would be required to make sure that the entire road is enlightened? So now people immediately jump to a number that this street will require 200 lights. The answer or the intent for this question is not the number. Of course, you will be required to tell the number at the end. But first, think about the approach. How are you going to approach this problem? Correct? You're going to say, in how much distance do I need one light? Right? And how many lights do I need, one opposite the other, or so on and so forth. And then you look at the distance, you look at whether this is a commercial area or a residential area. So there are various such parameters that you will judge or you will think of, and then you will arrive at an answer. Correct? So therefore, in a case study based interview, you always need to focus on the process rather than the answer, final outcome. Correct? So that's something which is very, very important.
Having a thorough prep of these rounds, practicing such questions, there are case books of different colleges that you can rely on for practice for such questions. Now when it comes to HR questions, there's an approach that you should always follow for the HR questions. I usually practice on the STAR framework. We have this situation, task, action, and result. So basically, you divide your answer into these 4 parts, and then you create a situation. You talk about the task that you did during that situation, what are the actions you took, and what was the actual outcome. That will clearly structure out your answer. It will always give a very presentable answer. You look very presentable and very objective. For the HR questions, you should have very well practiced, because these questions are very random and they are to check your wit, your confidence, your presence of mind, what kind of situation you present to the what kind of situation you present in the answer to the recruiter. So for instance, they might ask you for there might be a question related to any situation when you recently faced a failure. What is the biggest learning of your life? Who's your role model? Why is your inspiration? Or maybe for the sales interview, there might be a situation like sell me this pen. So you have to give very objective and very thoughtful answers to these questions. You cannot just randomly bluff about any random situation. For that, I believe practicing certain questions and forming situations, or just looking back at your journey, whatever you have mentioned in your CV, just pick up one experience and take that experience and just fit it into the answer that the recruiter is looking for, and maybe just draft a situation based on it. So if he asks you question about any specific learning or any failure that you have faced, कोई भी CV में से internship का experience या लाइफ प्रोजेक्ट का एक्सपीरियंस उठाओ, जस्ट ड्राफ्ट अ सिचुएशन कि these are all the deliverables, these are all the things that I did, but I missed on this thing, and this was the impact that it created, and therefore I got to learn about through my mistakes. इससे एक स्ट्रक्चर मिलेगा आंसर को कि मैंने ये किया, मुझे ये करना था, ये नहीं करना था, इससे ये हुआ, and that is why this is my learning. So that just note down 3 to 4 pointers that you have to speak about, that you must speak about. Those things are your special points that you must mention about yourself. Those are the things that you cannot miss mentioning about yourself. So just write down those pointers, those 3 to 4 pointers, and just speak freely. It should not look like you have crammed it or you are just speaking in a very robotic way. Be very natural, be very free, and just talk. But remember to mention those 3 to 4 pointers that are the special pointers. They're the special things about you. Your
Now, let me give you a few interview tips. Start practicing CAR method, which is challenge, action, result. Don't memorize anything. Practice storytelling. And please, if someone asks you this question, tell me about yourself, which will come. Don't start with your 10th grade. Share your journey. Share what you're excited about and what you're looking for. Ask relevant good questions. It shows your seriousness. It shows how prepared you are. See, preparation is all about that company is interested.
When we don't know about any answer, now what we do is we try to give, or we just try to talk. Whenever you are talking to a good recruiter or a good HR, now they will straight away reject you if you try to just try to ghumao your words and try to give answers that you don't know. Okay, so if you don't know anything, just tell them this is something that I don't know about, sir, so I would like to skip this question, and if you have any other question I can talk about. Okay, again, if you know about a particular answer, just be so concise and so focused. Don't try to mix it up here and there, and just don't try to make it bigger. Just try to very concise and give answers straight away on the point, nothing else. Okay, one more thing that you can do is don't try to cheat. There are plenty of experienced recruiters out there. Recently I have been taking a mock interview with this guy, and even in the mock interview this guy was trying to cheat in the mock interview, guys. It's so funny to think about it. So basically this is something you guys should not be doing, first of all. Secondly, the one and the most important thing is have the kind of authority. Like, if you know something, if you are giving this internship, this is your game. This is the time to become the hero, right? And to be very I would like you to be very honest. If you don't like something, say it. If you like something, if you don't know something, if you don't know something, just say it. Be honest. Honesty is the best policy, and recruiters and HRs loves honesty. Trust me. Okay.
Well, as much as we hope that it was enough for you, there's a lot more coming up. क्योंकि picture अभी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त. Before we show you what part 2 is going to bring for you, we just want to tell you one thing. This was our first episode, and like every first thing, it was beautiful. So we hope you really liked it, and if you did, please go subscribe our channel, like it, and just stay tuned for future updates on our social media handles. And of course, as much as AI has progressed, FTB is being run by humans just like you. So there is a great possibility that there are multiple flaws in the video or anything else that we can do to make your journey better and easier. Do let us know in the comment section. We appreciate your feedback and love and support. Please stay tuned for the part 2 on cracking that summer internship, where we'll be discussing and showing the mentors sharing about LinkedIn optimization, where we are talking about building a 24/7 personal billboard. Well, IDs can be earned by a lot, but earning the desk is the real game. We'll be discussing the PPO path and how to make it count. As we have a lot of AI and tech experts as our mentors, we'll talk about how we can use AI to accelerate and not just replace your voice. One of the biggest questions that students always have: interning in one domain or interning in diverse domain. Is it a smart move or just a scatter plot? Or is versatility the new currency, or is deep expertise still the king? We'll be talking about small milate jao, large banate jao, long-term strategy of cracking internships and building your profile. As much as compassionate as the mentors are, we'll be sharing the playbooks, curated resources, secret codes and weapons from those who have aced the game more than the times any of us have ever played. So it will be a pure gold mine. Do not miss this out. These are our social media handles. Stay tuned with us for resources, updates on our mentorship episodes, where we'll be covering everything which can be a problem and an obstacle for you, and just join our community so that we can keep updating you about our multiple future initiatives.